Hey, what's going on, guys? Back again with another one talking about health, wealth, happiness, success, getting rich, making money, being successful. I think I touched on all of them. In this video, I want to go over why reading is so important to becoming successful, why reading is so important to becoming rich. And most people do not do it today. First and foremost, you have to understand humans are like racehorses. We just have our blinders on in life. Like, this is it. Right? All we know is what we see in front of us, what our parents teach us, what we learn in school, what we learn in our small neighborhoods, what we learn in our small towns. The only way you are going to become successful in life, the only way you're going to be able to get new information is if you read. And I know everybody hates reading today, but it's because you have TikTok brain. You cannot sit down for 5 minutes and read a book anymore. But understand that the body is always trying to heal itself. So, if you work out, your body tries to heal itself. If you eat right, your body tries to heal itself. If you read, your mind will heal itself from this TikTok brain that you have. Reading is a non-negotiable. I don't care what nobody says. Oh, I like to listen to audiobooks. I don't like to read. Like, it's not the same. Right? Those people who listen to audiobooks in the car, they're thinking about what they had for breakfast. They're thinking about, what they got to do after work. They got to pick up their kids from school. They're wondering why this car is veering into their lane and if they're going to hit them or not. You're not paying attention to the information. You have to put eyes on the page and you have to get this information into your brain and let your brain come up with the concepts. Put the words into your mind and let your mind come up with these concepts. Hey, what does this mean? What is he talking about? Or what is she talking about? What does this mean to me? You have to let your brain figure this stuff out. And you can only do this if you read books. It's crazy. This is the first book I read right here. I got recommended this book. It's called Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. I was really big into investing. I think I started investing a little before 2020. And somebody recommended me this book, and I was like, okay, sure, I'll pick it up. I never read a book before in my life, and I read this book, and, Tony Robbins, all he does is go over, he gives you motivational speeches throughout the book. Of course, he's Tony Robbins. That's what he's known for. But other than that, he tells you about the stock market. He tells you about ETFs, how to invest, why you invest, how to get out of debt, how to get your life on the right track to becoming rich and successful in life. And the thing that really stuck out to me with this book, he interviews about 10 to 15 billionaires, hedge fund and CEOs, big time CEOs, people that me and you have zero access to. And he's interviewing them for about 10 to 15 minutes. And he interviews like 15 of them. And at the end of the interview, he asks all of them the same question. If you couldn't leave your kids any money, what advice would you give them? And this blew my mind. I'm like, we don't have access to these people. And here in one book, I have access to 15 billionaires. And my mind was blown. And I was like, you can find this in a book? And I know that sounds silly to be like, yes, of course there's information in a book, but nobody reads. People do not understand the information that is in a book. It is so crazy. And once I read this book, I went crazy. I was like, wait a minute. You can read and study a subject that somebody spent their entire career, 10, 15, 20 years studying, and I can get that information in a weekend? I need to know everything. And so, again, humans are like racehorses, right? We all have the blinder on, and the only way you're going to become rich, the only way you're going to become successful is if you can broaden your perspective in life. And you can only do that by a few ways, right? Most people do not have access to rich people or successful people. So you have to get it from books. It's a non-negotiable. And it is also therapy to read. In order to find clarity in life, in order to find peace in life, the best way you can do that is becoming present as a human being. This is why a lot of people like playing sports, or they like doing boxing or MMA or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's because you have to be present in these things. You can't be thinking about 100 things when you're playing basketball or soccer. You can't be thinking about 100 things when you're rolling around on that mat trying to put somebody in an arm bar in BJJ. And the same thing when you're reading books. You don't have time to think about something else. You have to put eyes on the paper. You're taking in the information, your brain, those neural pathways are connecting, trying to make sense of the information that you're reading, and it brings you to the present, which makes you feel good. It's a dopamine hit that your body needs, your mind needs. It will make you feel good reading a book, right? Taking the time out of your day to read. You don't have to knock a book out in one day. Read a chapter, go over it, close the book. Think about it. What information did I take from that? How can I apply that to my life? What did they mean? Do I need to read that again? I'm telling you, it is so key to becoming successful. I meet so many people that don't read. They don't like to read. They'll sit there and say, oh, I made it to the end of the page and I forgot what I was reading. You have to clean your mind. That means your mind is broken. Like, I hope people understand that if you can't read a book, and again, you don't have to be a super reader. Cat Williams did that interview with Shannon Sharp where he was reading 3 books a day. You don't have to be a super reader, but just knocking out 1 chapter a day. Anybody can do that. 20, 30 pages, closing the book. Let me go over that. What did I learn? How can I apply this to my life? It is so prevalent. Another one, this is my all-time favorite book, is The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. This book is a non-negotiable. It will change your life. You have to read that. Another book that I really enjoyed, but it's super dry. Like, this is not for beginner readers, but The Laws of Human Nature. Understanding the dark side of human nature. I love that. That's my, I like to say that I have like my PhD in money. That's where it comes in. I understand the stock market and, where money is moving and economics like nobody else. I have my PhD in economics, and I have my like minor in like psychology with like another minor, a double minor. Is that even a thing? I don't know. In history. Like, that's my thing. Money, human behavior, psychology, and history. Those are my three money makers right there. And then I have a bunch of entrepreneurs behind me. I like understanding business. I like understanding how these guys got to the top. What information can I take from them to apply to my own life? I'm telling you, you have to read. It is a non-negotiable. You cannot listen to audiobooks. It's not the same thing. Your mind doesn't work the same way. Again, there's something happens when you put eyes on the paper. When you read the information, your brain has to process that completely different than if you were to just listen to an audiobook. You're thinking about 20 different things when you're listening to an audiobook. You have to read. And again, it will also heal you. It will heal your mind. It will heal your brain. You'll be able to become present, slow your life down, get into a flow state when you're reading. It'll make you feel good after you're done reading. You just want to continue reading. Again, it blew my mind. Again, when I read this first book, I was just like, I cannot believe this is in a book. And I know that sounds silly when I say it like that. Like, oh, duh, there's information in a book. But I'm telling you, when I put that together and I was like, wait a minute, somebody just spent 20, 30 years of their life studying or researching a particular subject, and I get to take that in 48 hours, I got to know everything. And so if you want to be successful in life, you have to broaden your perspective. Again, us humans, we have blinders on. All we know is what's in front of us, what our parents teach us, what the school system teaches us, what we see on the news, what we see from TikTok. And in order to become successful in this life, you have to read, you have to take in information. Like, the only reason you are not rich is because you don't have the knowledge on how to do something. It's like, you don't understand, or you don't have the knowledge on how to be a plumber. And then on top of that, you don't understand how to run a business. You don't understand how to be a plumber and run your own business and hire employees and do payroll and, how to bid for contracts. Like, if you understood more information, or not really understood, but if the more information you intake, the better your life becomes. You're able to pick and pull different things for different situations, like a Rolodex. Right? No matter what situation you're in, if you're trying to do business deals, if you're trying to talk to a female, or if you're trying to talk to a guy, if you're trying to buy a house, or if you're trying to get into real estate, I got books on real estate, how to buy, renovate, and rent out. I think it's called the Burr Method. I have so much information in my Rolodex that I'm able to just flip through for any situation and pull from, or pick and pull from. Like, you become a powerful being the more you read, right? This is why so many people get into trouble, because, during certain situations, they don't understand, they don't have a lot of information to pull from. And so people just start getting angry. They start getting in their emotions. It reminds me that, that one scene in 40-Year-Old Virgin when Kevin Hart and that other black guy were going at it, and Kevin Hart was just all like, now you just said a whole bunch of big words, and because I don't understand them, I'm going to take them as disrespect. Again, the more information you have in your mind, in your Rolodex, the more you're able to pick and pull for each different situation that you're in. And you can only get that from reading. So I just wanted to come on here real quick, touch on reading, why it's so important. It will change your life. I'm telling you, if you are not reading, you're failing in life. There's no other way. Again, you have access to history. You have access to human behavior. You have access to real estate. I got books on ChatGPT and how to use AI. I have books on everything because I just want to have a Rolodex for every situation that I've come across, and I need to know this information. And if you're not reading, you're never going to make it. Especially if you're coming from a lower tier society, if you're coming from a middle class or lower class family, if you are not reading, you don't have anything to go off of. Like, the only thing you have to go off of is what's in front of your face. Oh, people are working at McDonald's. Oh, people are working at the factory. Oh, a bunch of people around me are becoming plumbers or electricians. If you don't have any other information to pull from, you're never going to be able to get to that next level in life. It's like, okay, cool. You want to be a plumber, you want to be an electrician. That's fine. Now, how about you get the skills necessary? You open up your little side business, or you start doing side work. You build up a Rolodex of calendars of clients. And now you can start opening up your own thing. You know how to do the job. Now you can open up your own side business. You can hire a couple electricians. I like how those guys work. They can come work for me. I've already got a clientele list built up. They can, get me more work. Whatever, you can just use it to your advantage. But you're never going to get to that next level if you don't have any information to go off of. You need a Rolodex of information to pull from for all different situations in life. And when you do, you become more successful in every situation. You become less emotional and more rational and logical in every situation, which is just going to get you to that next level in life. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that one there for right now. Go ahead and hit this like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys at the next one. Have a great day. Be great. Be amazing. All right. See y'all later. Peace.